Well, today we have the beginnings of a Repair-A-Thon for the Game Gallery in Pennsylvania. The owner or operator of that arcade had contacted me and asked if I could take a look at a few chassis. And I assumed by a few he meant, you know, 2 or 3 or maybe 4, but there were 9 in the box. And I don't recall discussing sending in 9 chassis, but here we are with 9 of them. I assumed it was only 3 or 4, but we got 9 here. So we're going to go through all 9 and just take a look and see what we have. You know, I'm sure there won't need to be a video on all 9 of these, but we're going to go through and see what kind of condition they're in, things like that. I don't have any documentation on really any of these. I think a couple of these are out of like a 6-player X-Men, like X-Men #2. This one's not even labeled as to what game this came out of. Yeah, so I have no idea what game that came out of. This is just says X-Men, so it's the first chassis and second chassis from a 6-player X-Men. Then we have Cruisin' USA, Sky Soldier. This one's not labeled either. This one's not labeled up here. This one's out of a Blitz, and this one here is out of a Dynamite Cop. So there's 3 chassis here that aren't even labeled, so I'm not sure if they even know what game they came out of. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So there's 6 down there, 7, 8, and 9. So we'll just start with this unmarked one. Like I say, I don't have any documentation on any of these. I think they had sent me some information about these X-Men ones, but I forget what it is. But for the most part, I think we only discussed 2 or 3, and somehow I've got 9 here. So I'm just going to go through these one at a time and unwrap them, check them out, look for condition. I'm not sure if I'll do any actual repairs in this video, but just kind of an overview here of all these and see what we got. This one obviously is a 4900. I gotta find somewhere to put all these. I'll put that down there. Those 2, this one. Looks like it's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7,000s at least. So probably not going to do a lot of videos on those, because y'all know I've got so many videos on the 7,000s already. Unless something new, some type of new symptom comes along, not going to be too many 7,000 videos. Okay, so we'll start with this one. One layer of bubble wrap. I don't know. Hopefully there's no broken pots or anything in here. And they did not include the remote board, but fortunately I have some of those. This here, the color transistors are all mangled. The flyback is completely missing. Is this a parts board? I don't know. I didn't get any information on pretty much any of these. Someone's got the fuse here smashed down in the holder. I can't even get that out of there. Is it even the right amperage? No, this is a 5 amp fuse. Who does that? That's a 5 amp fuse. Looking at this, it's missing one of the bipolar caps for the red. The red input goes through this bipolar cap. That's missing. R104 is pulled out of the board. So there's that. Anything else? Not that I can see immediately. This is a 25-inch 7000 because obviously it says P538, but also the larger resistor is a dead giveaway. Bottom side of the board, well, it must be in shutdown or some kind of power issue because somebody has removed D10 and installed it on the bottom side of the board. Yep, it's missing from the top, so it must have been in shutdown. So whoever worked on this might not have known what they were doing, but anyway, Any broken pots on the main board? Nope, doesn't look like it. What about the neck board? Those all seem okay. So we have a 7000 here with a missing flyback and a missing remote board. I have no information on this one. We'll go ahead and just mark this of course. We'll mark this number 1. 2 can be as sad as 1. It's the loneliest number since the number 1. Alright. Let's grab the second unlabeled one. And we have another 25-inch 7000. Well, I guess we'll write on it later, but oh crap. This thing is filthy. Good Lord. Wow. Oh man. Look at the crack on this flyback. Wow. That's a serious crack across there. I don't think I ever seen an original white knot flyback with a crack that severe. And it looks like it was arcing out of the side here. See how it's all white right there? I think it was arcing out of the side there. I don't see any outward evidence of it arcing there, but I think we had high voltage leaking out of right there. You can see where it's all white right there. So probably have to replace the flyback. Other initial inspections here. Oh, this is a medium res. This is a medium res 19-inch K7000. How can I tell? Well, it says P447. That's 19-inch, but we have the 25-inch B plus resistor. And see this little gray extra cap right there? That's a dead giveaway. This is a medium res. So this is a 19-inch medium res K7000. Very interesting. Of course, there's no documentation on any of this, so if I didn't know what I was doing, I wouldn't have known that. So this is super filthy. I mean, I'm already dirty from just handling it. So, yeah, we're going to have to figure out what's going on with this. I have no information, but it looks like everything is complete. Somebody has not broken, but they've broken loose the shutdown pot. So again, maybe this has shutdown issues. I'm not going to do individual testing on this stuff right now. We're just going through and checking things. The bottom side looks fairly good. Nothing appears to be burned or any of that stuff. Another giveaway, this is medium res, are these little jumpers here. This little white jumper and this black jumper to ground. It's grounding both sides, not both sides, but it's grounding one side of the C38 width cap. And this side of the C38 width cap is going to DC38 and D15, I think those are. These components in here, I think that's D15 and C38, yeah. But anyway, so that's complete. Do we have the correct amperage of fuse in this one? 1.5, that's correct. And it doesn't appear to be blown. Neck board, I don't see any outward signs of broken pots and all that. So we have a medium res 19-inch 7000. Interesting to discover that here. And I think on here we're going to write number 2, 19-inch medium res. Yeah, the writing is no good, but the medium is moving on me. So, okay, interesting. Third unlabeled one, another 7000. Looks like a 25-inch. But as we just saw, appearances can be deceiving. And I'll give you another example here. Okay, this is definitely not a 19-inch. But if we look on the back, those jumpers, they're not there. So another dead giveaway. And if we look here, that little, oh man, this is, God, these are all filthy. That extra silver cap that was there, that's not there. So on that, plus it says P538. Right there. P538. This might be one of the dirtiest 7000s I've ever seen. Not even sure if I can inspect this, but look how dirty this is. Yikes. Original caps, like I think the last two. R104 smashed flat. Original black knob flyback with a crack across the front. It doesn't seem too bad. I don't see anything missing other than being just absolutely filthy. Got the little pincushion board there. Here's something you don't see every day. This little brown thing here. This must be a very, very low hour 7000 because 99.9% of these that you see, this thing will be missing or gone because you can see here how it's discolored. This thing gets so hot that it will fall apart and fly out. There's supposed to be a little piece here that goes through the hole on the heatsink for IC3 vertical IC, and it keeps it in place. And you can see here, it's all, mine just broke off. So yeah, you'll almost never see this, but this must be a very low hour one because this is still intact. That's something you never see. But anyway, again, I have no idea what's wrong with any of these, so we're gonna assume there's a shorted HOT, or maybe they just want it, maybe there's nothing wrong with this. It just needs capped and cleaned up and reflowed. But here's the back side. Someone's done some rework here and replaced this cap for sure. And that looks like, oh, they've changed the HOT also. HOT and C50, I think that is. I can't recall at this time. Whatever, they've changed those two components, but that all looks okay. The top looks okay. This has the better styled adjustment pots that don't break. They're all intact, so this all seems complete. All right, well, oh, and no remote board, of course not, so I'll have to source one. I don't know how people expect you to work on this stuff without sending you everything that you need, but sometimes it doesn't cross their mind. All right, we'll write number 3 on this one. Okay, this one says Blitz. And this is a 7000 also, so obviously they're running Blitz on standard res. And another one that has the remote board. Imagine that. Okay, so we'll take a look at this one. Why are all these so dirty? Every one of these is just covered in filth. Wow. Okay, another one with the pincushion board. Someone has done some type of, oh no, this is just soldered on. Okay, I thought it was stuck to a resistor down there. That's just our diagram wire. Neck board, this one has the updated pots as well, the newer style. Neck board seems okay, except for the colored drive transistors all touching each other. Main board, other than being completely filthy, seems like it's all intact. I'm just glossing over these quickly. There could be something that you spot that I don't, but what about our fuse on this one? Is this 2 amp? 2 amp, yeah, that's good. Backside, oh man, this looks like no one's even touched this one. That's good for me. So, okay, all right, well, we got this one here. Any broken pots on the neck board? Oh, sorry about that. Oh, no, these are the newer style that don't break on you, so, all right, those are all intact. Okay, well, I do not know what's wrong with this, just like the other ones. So, I'll do some testing on all this stuff, and if it turns out that one of these has some type of weird issue that needs to be addressed, I will address it. Otherwise, we'll just see what we can figure out on some of these other ones. That maybe there's one in here that I don't normally work on that will be a good video. Alright, and I'm going to write on here number 4. Okay. This one here says Dynamite Cop. Oh, we got a what looks like this is a K7500 with no remote board. So again, I don't know how they expect me to work on this stuff with no remote board, but fortunately I have one. But looking at this, I can immediately see an exploded cap right here. Kaboom! So that has blown its top, and of course this one is completely filthy, so why should anything be different? Q708 is bent way the heck over. And what else? Let's take a look here. What else do you see? It looks like it's got a partial cap kit, because this one's been changed. This one's been changed. So is this one down here. But they didn't change that one, and it's exploded. So that's an original one for sure. And otherwise it looks complete, except for the missing remote board. Okay. And how's our neck board looking? Of course, our heat sinks are all destroyed. Why wouldn't they be? Oh, and neck board has been severely, probably going to be fun trying to get that off of there. Don't know why people do that. It's adhesive or whatever, silicone, whatever it is. And here's something you don't see every day. The flyback on this one is cracked. You don't see a lot of these that crack like that, but it's clearly cracked across there. You don't. A lot of these don't crack like that. That's an oddity. Well, at least in my experience. You may have different results, but well, this one says cruising. This says Dynamite Cop, but this says C-R-U-I-S-E, cruise. I don't know. Regardless, we'll get this fixed up. Someone has replaced C119 with a different style. This is the. It's still. They're both still polypropylene caps, but this is more like a film cap. This is a poly cap, so metal. This is a metal film cap, if I'm correct, and this is the polypropylene cap. But hey, if it works, I mean, big deal. But okay, another cap, another bulging cap right here. You zoom in, this cap here is bulging. So yeah, I don't know what is going on with this poor guy. Maybe we'll do a video on this one. But you know, no remote board, so that's always fun. And with this thing packaged on here, just smashing on top of the heat. I mean, it was packaged like this. It's just smashing these heat sinks on this heat sink and busting those pads off. So not really shipped too well. And I'm not trying to be mean or put anybody down, but you know, I get a little frustrated when stuff like this comes across the desk that isn't really packaged right. Just one thin piece of bubble wrap, that's not enough, I'm sorry. But, you know, you end up breaking solder joints and causing more damage in shipping than you originally had to start with. But anyway, I digress. And I said I'm not trying to be mean or badmouth anybody, but, you know, it gets frustrating is all I'm saying. I'm sure you can understand. And here we have, this one says cruising, and I can see there's a remote harness in this one. Alright. Oh, another 7500, so they may have got these mixed up. This may be out of the Dynamite Cop, and the other one's out of cruising because they had written cruising on the heatsink for the vertical IC, but it doesn't really matter. And again, one little individual piece, one piece of bubble wrap, and this thing smashing down on the heatsink again. So I imagine these will all be broken too. Yep. I don't want to say broken, but they're all mangled. So we'll have to fix those. Neck board seems intact. We have our remote board. And it's complete. This one looks to be in much better shape. I don't see any broken components. I don't see any exploded caps. Everything appears to be here. Yeah, okay. What in the world? This one's cracked too. That's very odd. I don't recall seeing a lot of these that are cracked. Huh. Well, live and learn, I guess. Everything seems okay. The bottom side. Oh, we got power supply problems because somebody has reflowed or replaced the switch mode power supply IC, and oh, we've got a R728 that has burned up. This R728 has gotten so hot, it's gotten white hot, and it has completely dissolved the solder joint. Let's see if we can show this. If you look closely there, it's not even in the circuit anymore. I can push it right out. Huh. Yep. So we got a bad R728. What's burning that up? I don't know. So this may be an interesting repair. So we got a couple of good candidates for some videos here, but okay. I'm not sure why. If you weren't gonna wrap this, that's fine, but don't put it like that. Put it like this. I mean, doesn't that make more sense so you don't smash all these up? But maybe I don't know. Anyway. Okay. This is what? Number 6? No, 7. Yeah, number 7. Is it? No, number 6. Okay. I was going to say there's 3 left. I only counted 9, so. Alright, so here we have what appears to be a K4900 out of what looks like Sky Soldier. Sky Soldiers plural. I'm sorry, Sky Soldier developers. And yes, we have a 5-pot K4900. And of course, it's filthy. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-pot K4900. And the horizontal width coil core is not cracked, so that's always good. I'm gonna have to go through and spend a day cleaning all these before I can even work on them, because geez, wow. Neck board is cracked, of course. Why wouldn't it be? From probably bad shipping. or bad, didn't wrap it very well, because if we look here, our neck board is cracked. I never would have guessed in a million years our neck board would be cracked. Imagine that. So I don't know if this happened in shipping or what, but you can clearly see that it's cracked all through here, cracked across here. We didn't know I can fix all this, but I mean, par for the course. Destroyed neck boards on every one of them. Well, except the 7000s, they're a bit more robust. But I mean, come on. This could have been caused, I assume, possibly from, you know, removal or damage from taking it off or whatever. But I'm almost 100% positive this is from shipping. So, you know, when you only have one thin piece of bubble wrap and all these other chassis slamming around in the box, that's what you get. All right, well, they're Sky Soldiers. This is number 7. Two more. So this is the first 7000 out of the 6-player X-Men that they have. And now I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I'm not trying to disparage anybody in particular, or even the great guys, you know, at the arcade. But at the Game Gallery arcade, I forgot for a moment there, I'm getting too old. Yeah, the Game Gallery, they're great guys, but I don't know, whoever boxed these up and sent them to me, that's all this on their their shoulders. But fuse is intact. It's a 2 amp, that's good, but this is obviously 25, and of course, no remote board, because why would it have one? Looks like someone's replaced the flyback at some point. I don't see any evidence of arcing on the side anyway. The fuse is intact, so it makes me think that maybe it just needs rebuilt, but it does appear to be complete. I don't see any outright issues. How's the bottom side look? Okay, if somebody has done a cap kit, at least a partial cap kit, because they did these jumpers here with the cap legs, which I guess is fine. But I don't see anything else right off the bat, so okay. That seems okay. It's got the updated pots that don't break, that's good. Well, okay. And what in the world is this? Thermal grease? Well, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Okay. And like I say, I'm not really going to go through many or any of these 7000s unless I go to test it and there's something new that has happened or occurred that we haven't seen before. So I'll likely just make videos on the K4900 and those 7500s if we need to. From this, I called it a Repair-A-Thon, but I still have to repair all these, but I may not make videos on all of them. So let's see, number 8. I can't draw, or can't write, can't do anything. Nothing. All right, number 9, here we go. Well, that broke off, that's good. All right, so here's the second one. Hey, this one has the remote board, and with some cut wires that are soldered right to the back. Okay, well, if it works, it works. Any broken pots on this remote board? Wow, okay, 9 chassis, no broken pots in any of them. Consider me surprised. And this one has freaking thermal grease on this too. That's thermal grease. Maybe somebody thought it was something else. like dielectric grease, but that's thermal grease. At least it appears to be thermal grease. Another updated 7000 with the better pots. That's good. None of them are broken. This appears to be complete also, but original caps. Yeah, this one hasn't been touched. Original flyback. Is this one cracked? Yeah, but not too bad. Don't see any arcing on the side. And nobody has touched this. So, okay, well there is the lot, if you will. Not Salem's lot, although it might feel like it. And we'll wrap this up. The problem is that after I get these all fixed and I wrap them up and protect them correctly, they may not all fit in the box that this came in. So that's where you run into issues of having to use another box and headaches and who knows. But anyway, this is kind of a lesson in how not to ship stuff. One little thin piece of bubble wrap wrapping, that's not enough to do. You might as well not wrap them at all. This will do nothing. This will protect absolutely nothing. If something hit this, all these pots will break, and then there's no reason to even have that. But I'm not bitter about it. What do we want to start with? Well, I'm not sure if I wanted to do a whole... I just wanted to do like a Repair-A-Thon teaser video here, and then come back and do, you know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 repairs, whatever it takes. Like the 7000s, I think there's 6 7000s. 2 7500s and the 4900. I might just do videos on the 4900 and the 2 7500s. The 7000s, you know, like I say, unless there's something new to show, it's not really worth, you know, if it just needs caps, reflow, and a new HOT or something, that's not entertaining. I've got 1,000 of those videos already, but, and plus I gotta wash all these. Yeah, I think we'll just do a teaser for this video, and, because I have to go through and wash like 7 out of 9 of these things. I probably have to wash all of them because they're all filthy. And that's going to take a while, so I think that's what I'll do is I'll just leave the video here. And next few videos, I'm going to repair probably the 7500s because those seem like they're going to be interesting. And then the 4900 because I don't think I have a lot of videos on that compared to the 7000s. And then the rest of these I'll go through and clean these and start testing. If anything interesting comes along the pike, we'll make a video on one of the 7000s that has the issue. But otherwise, yeah. Now I also have U5000 on the way that the bottom right corner was busted off in shipping, and there's other issues they wanted me to take a look at, but it's not here yet. So depending on if that gets here in the next day or so, I may go ahead and just make a video on that one first. I'll go ahead and release this one, and then if that one gets here, I'll make a video on that one separate. And then it may be out of order with the teaser here, and then the next one is actually the video after the 5000, but I don't think it ultimately matters. We could always just make a playlist or something for down the road, but and I'll have to find some other usage for this 5 amp fuse. So okay, well, I think that about does it. So stay tuned for the rest of the follow-up on this, and we'll see how it goes. And I'm not sure if we'll come back and start with the 4900 or either the 2 7500s, but I got to get the rest of tonight, go through and wash and clean all these things so they all have time to properly dry and everything, and then we'll kind of go from there and figure out what's going on. So stay tuned. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.